Hey. Let's try and catch a chub on the bread. I've just liquidised some bread up this morning. Nice and simple, coarsely liquidised. I want some nice big bits in there. Just old leftover bread. I've just tied a hook on. I've actually tied on a size 6 Fox Rays drop shot hook. It looks lovely for big worms or bread or something like that. And I've tied that to 020 power micron. I'm just going to pop a bit of flake on. I like to hair rig punches of bread, but I'm going to start with hair rigged. I'm going to start with bread flake, and I'd just like to mix things up. So let's just pinch a nice big bit of bread flake on. So it's nice and doughy there, but plenty of hook showing. And we'll see. 40 gram open-ended feeder. I'm going to pack it in tight because I want it to go down before it explodes out. So let's pack that in nice and tight. I don't want it to explode on the surface. Let's get it down. And it's probably 2.5 foot tail, little 11 foot rod. And try not to hit the camera. I'm just going to chuck it down the middle, about there. It's quite deep. I've chucked a little lead. I've never fished this bit before. It feels quite deep. So let's move this a bit closer. We'll see. I've travelled nice and light. Hopefully that'll stay in place. I'm just chucking a 40 gram feeder to begin with. And I've just gone straight down the middle. I'm on a lovely, long, sweeping S-bend. In fact, it's more like a snake, it keeps going. I've been meaning to fish this area for ages, years, but I never, because it's so far to walk, I normally stop at the bridge and just fish there. So, but I thought I'll walk to my furthest spot and then I'll work my way back if I don't get a bite. I'll give it 45-50 minutes here at least, because it looks lovely. And being on a nice sweeping S-bend, there's depth on the inside or across, depending on where the flow hits. It's a bit boily. We've had a lot of rain, we've had a lot of flood water, and we've had a lot of ice gone in. A lot of ice has melted. Most of the towpath is in a right state now, since the floods. Been really washed away. So quite surprised, because I used to cycle this. I wouldn't be able to cycle it now. So I'm glad I didn't bring my bike. I ummed and ahed, because I've probably walked a good mile with a heavy rucksack. That's why I've tried to travel a bit light, other than my feeders and my leads and a big bag of bread. So the only issue is I've brought me little landing net handle here that's only just going to reach. Let's get that stick off. Yeah. If we hook a big chub. So I've tried to choose a bit where I've got a little bit of space in front to try and net them. Well, that's not bounced at all, so I might drop to a 30 gram next chuck, because I think the lighter I can chuck the better. I've brought feeders up to 60 gram. We'll have half a dozen casts here. This is a tough old river, this. It's a beautiful looking river. This isn't the most scenic part of it, but it looks so fishy and so chubby. But my God, it's a hard river. It's the best looking, worst river I've ever fished. If you look on the Environment Agency website, it's classed as low density for fish life. And it certainly is. I'm determined to fish 2 or 3 swims today and not be too static. But there's a reason I've come. I wanted to go on the Thames last Friday, and obviously it was all in flood and everything. But I went, just paid it a visit just to see if there was any fishable spots. And the only bit that was fishable was Culham Cut, which is like a navigable bit off the River Thames. And again, another bit I've never fished but keep meaning to fish. but it looked fishable and a nice greeny colour. First thing the next morning, I bought my day ticket from Ace Tackle, £6 day ticket, drove down, all looking forward to it. I thought it was bloody cold though. I thought I'll have a quick look before I get all my gear out. It was all frozen. It was proper frozen. I couldn't throw stones through or anything. It was like frozen up to a centimetre overnight, so that wasn't good. So I came back and I thought, right, I'll just have a quick evening on the Cherwell near me. Drove down to the road bridge. It was surprisingly in its banks. Anyway, I looked off the bridge and I could see a deer in the middle of the field but next to the river. And I stood there for ages watching it. It wasn't moving. So I drove up the road, parked in a lay-by and walked across the very, very crunchy floodplain. Basically, it had all frozen and then the flood water had subsided and there was like a gap, like, 5-6 centimetre gap in the ice. It was all crunching through. A big long floodplain I was crunching through. And all the while, the deer's looking at me, still not moving. So I'm thinking, right, I need to investigate this deer. Got nearer and nearer, crunch, crunch, crunch. I got about 8 metres away and it finally bolted off. But rather than going up or down, level with the river, it bloody well jumped in the freezing cold river. I was mortified because it was just not moving. It had plenty of opportunity to walk away and run away. But anyway, it's jumped in the river and I've watched and watched and luckily it's got out the other side, looking very cold and dishevelled. But at least there's a bit more food the other side of that river. There's a house the other side and hopefully some nicer stuff for it to eat, because there wasn't a lot our side of the river. So anyway, I had 90 minutes. Where I sat wasn't ideal. It's the only place I could get in, and I know the chubber probably 50 metres at least further downstream. So I wasn't overly optimistic, and I'd never had so much as a sniff. But anyway, so that's my story. I was just determined to come back, which I have done today. Oh, well, and my bread's still on. That's a great sign. Look at that. And the hook's still showing nice. I'm well happy with that. Look at that. Lovely. Boom. And I'll be able to strike through that. Excellent. And like I say, I normally fish... I like to fish 3 or 4 discs of bread. Let's get a nice bit. I've never bought enough bread for this. But today I thought, no, we'll just go with bread flake. Fish it a bit more old school. And we'll see. I can always swap to hair rig in it. But this is a bit more instant. Quicker. I'm just going to lob it down the middle each time. Not having too many casts, so it doesn't have to be in the same spot. Another reason I've gone with this setup is I noticed when I had my chair and my rod rest on it, it was vibrating quite a lot. The slightest bit of movement, it was. So I've deliberately kept my rod away from me on my chair. We're right out in the sticks, and I don't want any vibrations. Yeah, we'll pop a 30 gram on next time. And now we wait. My fitness levels are really low, so I'm determined to get out and do a lot more of this year. Try and get my fitness levels up. I was smashing the ice at the weekend. It was over 2 inches thick, and I've got a big 10-pound plus big Bertha sledgehammer head icebreaker, and that was bouncing, absolutely bouncing. 2 hours to break a channel to where I wanted to fish, and my mate James helped me as well. But it made me realise how unfit I was. But I had a good match. I come second on the lake and fourth in the match, and it was a 60 peg match, so job done. I had a nice match, but as you can imagine, I was knackered. And yeah. Oh, that's a bite. That was a bite. 100% a bite. That was a tap. I've got a great big bit of bread flake on, but if there's any chub in the area, they've got big old gobs, haven't they? Could catch a bream. I've been told there's big bream down here, but I've never caught a bream from the Cherwell. I want to come down here with float gear at some point as well again, but I say it's been raging. It's been well out of its banks for a while, and it's fining down now. It's got a bit of a greenier tinge. the canal running into it is chocolate. But we definitely had a pluck pluck like that. I'll put a slightly smaller bit of flake on next time. It was quite a big chunk, wasn't it? So I've got some maggots. I thought about coming down with a maggot feeder, but there's something nice and satisfying about just chucking out a big bit of bread and a load of liquid eyes and a feeder. So I thought we'd just go down the bread approach. Can always come down another time with the maggots. Bread's still on. Let's put a smaller bit on then. And let's put that smaller feeder on. Definitely. Yeah, because that was not bouncing or anything. And it doesn't look snaggy, so I don't have to hold it where it is. But look, that should pull through lovely. So that wasn't the issue. Slightly smaller bit of bread on. It's not full of chub or, well, it's not full of anything, this river. So just catching one is an achievement, I think. We got one. We've got one. Might be a chub. It's a bream. It's a bream. Bloody bream. Wow. Smaller bit of flake. Can't believe we caught one. I was told there were bream here, but you never know, do you? God, that was not coming out. I am made up with that. Absolutely made up. Oh, he's probably £2. £2. But look how pale he is. Put me straight back, mate. Wow. Mega. Absolutely mega. We haven't been here long. I am absolutely made up. I thought we had a bite before it. I've had a massive hybrid from this river before, probably closer to £3, but I've never actually had a bream or a skimmer or anything. I mean, I don't fish it loads. So, yeah, a little 30-gram feeder, that seems better anyway, doesn't it? Obviously, the lighter you can fish, the better. It's only a sort of medium feeder anyway, it's not a large. I don't want to put loads of bait in. I want it just a bit of attraction and then find my nice big fluffy hook bait. I say it's been bitterly cold, -6 for a couple of days. And then it's just, well, everything's thawed out now. And I bet it's probably 8 degrees now. Mad, isn't it? Then it's going to get cold for the weekend again. But I've literally, all I've brought is bread. So the only other option I've got is a little bit of pepperami. I always leave a few pepperami sticks in my bag. The colour's dropping out nice. It looks a bit breadier now. It looks more like a bread river. Oh yeah. Have you had any?
No, not a touch. Saw you just caught some.
Yeah, bream.
Oh, bream.
Yeah, couple of pound.
Get many bites?
I had a bite just before it. That was my third cast.
Oh, okay.
So a good sign.
Yeah.
Keep casting. Keep it going in. haven't had another bite in half an hour, I'll just work my way upstream, back to the van. Snack time. Let me a banana. No more signs. I'm tempted to try a little bit of bread punch on a smaller hook. It says 14, but it's more like a 12, I reckon. I'm just going to tie it knotless knot style. That's what I tend to do after quality fish. I think an eyed hook is tied knotless knot is more secure than a spade. Left that one in a bit longer this time. I just got these new magnetic boxes, by the way. I'll have a swish. Just get this ready. 2 bits. The hook length's still 020. It's a wild river. You know, you don't see many anglers here. That's for sure. Come on, go through. That's it. I'll show you my setup quick anyway. I've got my hook length loop to loop, which is 020, loop to loop there. Twizzle boom, which is about 4 or 5 inch. A couple of number 8 cubes. So that twizzle boom is longer than the length of the feeder, so that can't rub, and the hook length loops start well below it. And then I've just got a little knot above, just to help set the hook potentially. But it can free run over the top, so it's a free running feeder, but just a little bolt effect there. That's it. Twizzled loop. All faithful. So let's try a couple of 10mm bits of punch. Just straight hooked. There's 2 discs of bread on there. They'll swell up nice and stay on, hopefully. Oh well, we've had one. Or cormorant going overhead. Go away, matey. They roost over there somewhere. I'm sure that's where they roost. But I just think catching one fish on the Cherwell in January, after all that ice has melted and we've had a massive flood, is a bonus. It's not an easy river. If it wasn't my most local river, I wouldn't be fishing it. But there's a challenge to this river. It frustrates me to fish it. But we'll have 2 or 3 casts with this. And if that doesn't happen, we'll wind that on an EVA spool and we'll go back to the big hook with flake. That's what I wanted to fish today, a bit of flake. But the match angler in me is just wondering if I find down a smaller hook bait, there might be some more bream about. And if I catch a big roach or something, I won't be disappointed. But that bream can't be on its own, can it? Or skimmer. On the cusp of being a bream, wouldn't it? That's been in there long enough. Let's have another cast. And the bread's still on, I can see it. That's encouraging. It's perfect, that, doesn't it? So 2 little punches, 10mm. Just compress it a little bit. I tend to just flatten one end, the end that's going into the hook, a little bit as well, just a little bit doughiness there. I've got itchy feet though, I'm quite keen to move upstream. Maybe 2 more casts here. I've had one nice fish, thanks.
Good.
And I'll swap to the big hook again, pop a bit of flake on. And then we'll have a wander further upstream. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? I'm just glad I ain't blanked. Definitely. It can be a demoralising river, this. So it's really buoyed my enthusiasm catching that early fish. But sadly no more. Come on. Okay, let's move. Let's move. Keep on moving. I fancy here. Look. That says winner. And that looks pretty fresh to me. So could be the winning peg. Let's just go here. Lucky mascots. My initial thoughts were chucking it over there towards that bush. Just trying to think. That should be the deepest water over there, but it does look nice down the inside here. I think we'll do that. We'll chuck across. I'm not going to give this one too long because I'm really keen to go even further upstream. But it looks fishy enough, and with that winner medal and the crayfish claw, could be a sign. I'm a bit superstitious like that. That's nice anyway. We're nice and comfy. We're not too far up. We've probably moved 100 metres further. A little bit precarious. I might just chuck it this way. No. Okay. We'll chuck it from here. Wow. I reckon I'm only a metre from there. I was right to chuck it there because it's still got some depth. A little bit tight to the far back. But I reckon it's a bit pacier there. Maybe a bit chubbier. Oh, it looks nice. Nicer skyline for watching me quiver tip anyway. Come on. Just a little bit tricky. Above here looks even nicer, but all the trees are coming over. So this is the first gap. Was that a feeder bounce or a bite? I think that was the feeder bouncing. Just 3 or 4 casts, and then we'll move. There's every chance to chop her down here, under this tree here, but I haven't got time to explore every part of the peg. It looks nice over there as well. Okay. Another cast. That's not snagged, beautiful. Oh, and the bread's still on. Bit of snot on the hook. So far this time. We'll only have one or two more casts because it looks even fishier further up. But that little the old crayfish claw and the winner medal just convinced me to have a little go here. I already feel like a winner catching one. Admittedly, it weren't a chub, but I'll take a bream in these conditions. Ooh. Tiny pluck then. That might be why we didn't. There's definitely a bite though. Yeah, we're free. Definitely a bite. We've lost our hook. Bagger, bagger, bagger. Small bit of flake this time. Chuck it a little bit further across. Because we didn't snag up first, Chuck, did we? Yeah, perfect. Oh, I thought I'd try and hit that one early. No, bread's still on. Good. That was a bite. 100% a bite. I mean, could be roach, could be anything. Something just got in the river there. Oh. Oh, is it? It's chirping. Oh, I'm getting a bite as well. I was going to film it. It's an otter, I think. With my quiver, I should have struck then. You bugger. I should have 100% struck then. I was just about to get my phone camera out to film it. And I had a proper bite then as well, which I should have struck at. Ah, John. The only problem is it got in about 3 metres from where I've been chucking. Nice. Right, John, stop getting distracted by all the wildlife around you. Concentrate on hitting this bite. We've had 3 bites in this peg now. Should have definitely hit the last one, but it was either an otter or a mink that just got in opposite. And I could hear it chirping. Oh, missed it. Right, next one I'm going to let develop. I thought that would have been on that one. Straight away again. Wow. There we are. What we got? We hit it. It's a big roach, I think. It is a nice roach. I thought that might have been what we were missing. That was straight on it as well, wasn't it? That didn't take long. Whee! Good. Well, that's what I thought was potentially giving me those bites. And that was a big bit of flake as well. So they're not hook shy, are they, or bait shy? 2 species, still no chub. I'm not too concerned about that though. There's a much chubbier looking pegs further up. Tap, 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 but nothing to tell me it's on. They're roach, aren't they? 100% roach. But my thinking is if they're roach there, then there's no chub there. So if we want to get a trio of species, we're going to have to move. Well, this is the chubbiest peg of the lot. Try not to be too noisy. Although I have got a big pipe above me. So, yeah. Got the big hook back on. Stick with that for the rest of the day now. I'm a bit on top of the tree here, but there's not a lot I can do because of the proximity of the railway bridge. Quite enjoying fishing flake. I say I like to fish punch bread, hair rig bread, but it's been good today. This So it is just a flick here. That is it. And that's just going to sit under that raft and hopefully whack round. So hang on to my rod on this one. It sort of really channels through here, so it's quite fast, but with a tree and the bridge and everything, it looks chubby, doesn't it? It definitely looks chubby. Well, it looks like I needn't have brought me 60 gram feeders. That 30's held there perfectly fine, even on this pacier peg. I wasn't sure because I've got quite a thick, well I have, I've got 10 pound mainline on. Yeah, I've got that raft to chuck under, or I can chuck to this one a bit further down. I thought I'd start at the top of the peg. But in my experience it is quite snaggy. As you can imagine, it looks snaggy, doesn't it? But I've had no lunch yet. Let's have some soup. Come on, if it's going to go under, now's the time. Nice bit of tomato soup. Tomato soup. Cheers. It was hot chocolate last time I was out with my daughter, New Year's Eve. Oh, there you are. There we are. That was 100% a bite. Oh, missed it. That was a bite. I was playing with it for a while. Oh, you bugger. The old soup trick. Well, can't be how many bites I'm getting on this normally devoid river. The same spot. I won't even have enough bread to dip in my soup, will I? Oh. How do you not connect with those? What's going on, John? Any joy? Did you? Or was that a bit, how much further down from where you saw me?
It was pretty much where you were.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
d-
you probably putting some feed in there.
yeah. Oh well.
No, I haven't had any feed in place.
Just bread, yeah. I've just missed 2 bites here.
Which is simple.
Oh, this is...
Yeah, I've only ever tasted it in the summer.
It's not an easy river.
Yeah, I've found that it's either.
It looks fantastic,
Yeah.
but it's not.
So I've done really well. And other times, like today, just
Yeah.
like a raw, you think it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised how many bites I've had.
Yeah.
So I was just fishing for one chub, I thought, but...
Okay.
Alright, all the best. Yeah. Gotcha. Like I said, it's snaggy. Snaggy. Just have to tie a new length on. Fresh bit of bread. How'd you miss that? How'd you miss that? If they're still messing me around, I'm going to pop my old faithful hair rig bread on and see if that makes a difference. I'm going to risk one more missed bite and then Then we'll pop a hairy bit of bread on. Yeah, only got a couple. We'll try that next. I've got some with a super stock on. That never develops. Let's push this hook length off. Put it to one side. Right, let's try a bit of hairy bread then. That's how I like to fish. It's a bit unorthodox for a lot of anglers. But I've got a lot of faith in hairy bread. A bit more south hooking potential. And they're being a bit cute. Two, three. I want it a little bit compressed because I want it to sink or be neutral. I don't want it to be popped up. So I'll have another cast at the top of the peg here. I could just fish it on a straight lead if I think I've got too much bread in the peg. Tremble. Crikey. Oh. Savage. My God. If that ain't a chub. Absolutely savage. Oh, it's a good one. Come on, get you upstream, mate. Let's get you upstream. Gotcha! Wow. First chuck on the hair rig bread. Oh, he's only just hooked. But we hooked him. Or he hooked himself. Look at that, look. He's got to be £3. Made up with that. We will have a look at him. There you are, 3 species. Absolutely made up. I said if I hook anything in this peg it'll be a chub. Absolutely made up with that. There we are, mission accomplished. We caught a chub, a roach and a bream all on the bread, and as soon as I swapped to that air rig bread, that one got nailed. So slipping back. Well, you know me, I'm going to try and catch another. I told you, those bites I were missing were chub mouthing it. Getting away with it. It's not the end of the world if we don't get another one. It'd be nice if we did. Oh, savage. I reckon it was about £3. Fat fish. Could have been bigger. I am useless with weights. It's more than 2 anyway. Just move the camera. Just get a different angle. But that was savage. Straight on it. You kind of want to fish locked up, but you want to let them go a bit as well. God, that was exciting. I don't think that was in there long. I can't remember how long it was in for, but I don't think it was in too long. I said this was the chubbiest looking peg. We'll see. We might not get another bite in this peg. I have 2 more casts and this cast and another one. I can go home happy now anyway. We've caught a trio. we found some lucky charms. Simplest of tactics, bit of liquidised bread in a feeder. All we've done is experiment with how we've hooked it really. Maybe 2 casts here. See if we can catch another one. I'm sure they're not on their own, but they're easily spooked once you've caught one, I think. I only come to catch 1 or 2 fish when I'm on these sort of sessions, so any more would be a bonus. Right, I've had 2 or 3 casts back in the spot, nothing, so let's go down to the next raft, or the next bush, tree, whatever we want to call it. That looked lovely, absolutely lovely. Couple of casts down there and then that'll do. Any more than what we've caught would be greedy today in January. Just had a couple of little plucks. Tap 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 tap. Oh. That's what it was. Little roach. So I've been getting tap 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 tap. There we are. That's what it is. I didn't think those bites were chubby at the end, so we've had one more roach. I think that's a nice fish to end on. Slip him back, come back another time. Definitely coming back. Well, considering it was really flooded a month ago and extremely frozen just a few days ago, I think we've done all right. So it certainly kept my faith in this river. I was definitely losing faith, but the amount of bites I've had, and definitely a lot of them were roach bites, has made me realise there's definitely more roach in this river than I realised. So yeah, I shall definitely be back, and hopefully not too far away from my next session. So I've got a few things I want to try, we'll have to see, and you'll have to watch this space. I'll catch you again.